Welcome to the Mrs. R Relevant Daily Draft Podcast, sponsored by the Draft Professors. Today, I am joined with special guest John. John, you and I think, have been messaging for a long time, but I don't know that you and I have podcasted together before. So, welcome to the Draft Professor.
No, thank you for having me. Yeah, we've been messaging a little bit in the XDMs, and now finally meeting a little face-to-face action. I can't wait.
Absolutely. And we have breaking news. So literally, John told me literally a minute before we went live that the Cardinals have fired Jonathan Gannon.
The Arizona Cardinals have fired now former head coach Jonathan Gannon. They are keeping general manager Monty Ossenfort, but Gannon being 15-36 with no playoff appearances in 3 years in Arizona, he is now officially on the market. There are going to be 6 official, 7 if Miami does what I think they're going to do and fire Mike McDaniel. So 6 head coach opportunities now open. And the biggest question for Arizona going into this year already, but now the new head coach, what the hell do you do with Kyler Murray?
Well, and we have done, I think on Friday, our podcast, we were talking about possible coaching changes.
Yeah.
And my number one piece of advice to anybody that gets hired as a head coach is you need to pick your quarterback and you need to pick him fast when you're a new head coach. So my understanding is Gannon got saddled with Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Right. But hey, if you are the head coach and you sign off on giving a quarterback a long-term extension, but you don't believe in the quarterback, you just, in my opinion, you just sealed your own fate.
Yeah, and the problem is he got saddled with Kyler because he'd done good development with Jalen in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So I don't think Jonathan Gannon's going to be out of work long. If he's not picked up as a head coach, he's going to be a hot coordinator for one of the new coaching hires or to backfill one of the coordinators that gets hired. But I have a lot of respect for Jonathan Gannon. I do think he is a good coach. He's not done coaching. But just a reminder to everybody that if you ever get hired as an NFL head coach, you need to pick your quarterback and don't be Brian Daboll that got settled with Daniel Jones or Jonathan Gannon that got settled with Kyler Murray. Don't do that. That's not what I would do.
It's not good. And ironically, for a lot of these teams who need quarterbacks with new head coaches, this is not the draft to do it.
Yep. So, Brandon, yes, we are live. We are live at 12:05 in the afternoon Eastern time on a Monday. Yeah, so Brandon, you're here like every podcast we have. It's awesome. So, John is actually going to be doing some Commanders mocks. And we're going to be using the Draft Professor Simulator to do it. So I like doing these. So, John, like I've spent a lot of my life designing, or I should say a lot of the last 5 years designing the simulator.
Yeah.
And I've put some things into it and I want to like talk through the Commander's perspective with you. So there's 3 types of things that you can do for a mock draft. And there's a 4th one coming that I'm still testing that right now end users can't see. But we're going to be doing single player drafts this entire podcast. And the first thing we're going to do is this thing called the First Round Fanatic Challenge. So, John, you're going to go through 5 unique 1-round drafts for the Commanders. It won't let you pick the same player twice.
Yeah, so, I've noticed that.
Yeah. So we're going to go Commanders First Round Challenge. And what are the Commanders looking for in the draft according to you?
So biggest need for me, edge rusher. We need to get after the quarterback. Between Dorrance Armstrong getting injured, Javonte Jean-Baptiste getting injured, Preston Smith being a non-factor, Von Miller getting you 8 sacks when he came in during the tail end of August, and Dietrich Wise getting injured in week 2. 3 of your 4 starting edge rushers injured within the first 6 weeks. Can't get to the pass rusher. Well, if you can't get to the quarterback, your secondary is going to suffer. Well, one thing about Washington the past decade, our secondary suffers quite easily. So for me, you gotta get to the quarterback, and it starts with getting the pressure off the edge. It starts with the edge rusher.
Okay, so round one, the Commanders are currently picking 7th. Round one went Mendoza, Moore, Styles, Bain, Fano, Tate. Any surprise at the first 6 picks?
Sonny Styles seems high. Look, I love me some Sonny Styles. I think he'll be the first linebacker drafted. I think he'll be a top 18 pick, probably top 15 with Dallas right there at 11. Top 3 for a linebacker?
When we did a group mock on Friday, he went 2.
2?
Yes. So there are people that really like Sonny Styles that use the simulator.
Look, I'm not gonna knock them because everyone is entitled to their opinion. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong because Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese will be drafted as a defensive end, edge rusher, however you want to slice the pie, because you don't draft linebacker, off the ball linebackers that high. Styles, who can't miss a tackle, he had 1 missed tackle in the college football playoffs, so 1 missed tackle. 0 missed tackles in the whole Ohio State regular season for 2025-2026. Unheard of. 3rd overall? Arizona has a much more dire needs. You need a wide receiver too. You need O-line help. You need D-line help. You need corner and safety. Because Budda Baker is about to kick to the retirement home within 2 years. Linebacker?
So we have about 110 people to draft, Professor. And a vast majority of Sonny Styles is the highest graded defensive player in the draft.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right. Now, to your point, positional value, do you take that at 3? But if you're gonna take Caleb Downs at 3, you should be able to take Sonny Styles at 3.
That is true. Right? That is true.
I mean, and I'm curious. I definitely want to get some Cardinals people on to get their perspective. But I know at the Draft Professor, we really like Sonny Styles. So if the draft goes this way, what do you think you're going to do, John, if you're the Commanders at 7?
If I'm the Commanders at 7 and this is how the board falls to me, first off, I'm loving the board, how this falls to me, because the 2 quarterbacks gone, Ruben Bain's off my hands, Carnell Tate's off my hands, Johnny needs O-line, Sonny Styles off my hands. That's fine because now Dallas can't get Sonny Styles. There's a few names that they can't get him. I'm so happy about that. There are a few names that Commanders country are infatuated by, and so am I. You have Arvell Reese right there at first overall BPA. You got Caleb Downs, the safety. You got Mansour Delaine, the former Hokie, now LSU Tiger. And then I've noticed your Draft Professor isn't as high on, but everyone else, again, it's out of their opinion. I think the critiques are valid. Or it's Texas Tech's David Bailey. I love the kid. Some people don't, and I get it. I think he's a prototypical Dan Quinn size and speed edge rusher. 6'3", 260. Remember, Micah Parsons was a little bit lighter coming out of Penn State, and look at him now. Consistently a dog. For me here at 7, and I'm thinking based off BPA, positional need, and positional value, and as soon as we don't take this guy, he will be gone. I would take David Bailey.
Okay. So Bailey is currently 23rd on the Commanders board. We're taking David Bailey at 7 overall.
Yes.
So that was 27. And I'm dropping that into the chat.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking notes. And we're going to come back to the notes here when we're done. Okay. So what the simulator does is it immediately puts us into the second first-round mock, but it makes sure that David Bailey is off the board. Right?
That's
so
smart.
now we have
Moore,
Mendoza, Bailey, Bain, Fano, Tate. So if Bailey's off the board, what do you do?
Yeah. If I'm looking at this board and 2 of the same prospects are here, I might as well just double dip in terms of getting the pass rush. I'll take Arvell Reese.
Okay.
I think the one kicker that sucks right now because of how the boards are falling and people aren't declaring to come out is Dante Moore even going to come out? Because Trinidad Chambliss is going back to Ole Miss.
I saw that they're still waiting for that waiver, and that should be announced by the end of the week. So tomorrow is declaration day. So tomorrow the players in the simulator may not be the same as they are today because we will know who's going back. So the simulator immediately puts us into the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Bailey is off the board. Reese is off the board. Ruben Bain did fall. What do you think the Commanders do at 7?
I'm gonna keep rowing this boat down the river. If he's there, I'm not as high, but he's like my 1B to Bailey's 1A. I'll take Gotham's Ruben Bain for my Commanders.
Okay, so absolutely love it. So Commanders are basically stacking the top of their draft board with edges, and
yeah, pretty much.
There's nothing wrong with that. So
no.
So this mock, Styles, Moore, Bailey, Reese, Bain are all off the board. Mendoza's off the board. What do the Commanders do?
All right, now I start thinking about, all right, if my true top prospects are off the board, what do I need? Well, I need a hard-hitting ball hawk safety. I need a nice secondary piece if I'm thinking quarterback to pair with Mikey, who I'm putting back out on the outside. I don't know why they move him to the inside, to the slot. He's an outside corner and is a pseudo safety at his size, speed, and ability, but that's another discussion for another day. Honestly, I'm between Downs and Mansour Delane, and I'm thinking with this fan base, because of how much they want the next Kyle Hamilton, they want the next Derwin James, they want the next Talanoa Hufanga, they want, and I hate to say it because this is rude for a lot of his fans, they want the quote-unquote next Sean Taylor, and to them, that would be Ohio State's Caleb Downs.
Okay, and observe that Downs is currently 7th. So I am going to take a brief note, drop it into the chat.
Yep.
Caleb Downs going 7th overall to the Commanders. Okay, so now we're in the 5th and final mock. We're doing what's known as a first-round challenge. So this mock was Maui Noah, Tate, Bailey, Reese, Bain, Downs, all off the board. So technically both quarterbacks in this one drop. So they're there.
They're there.
What would the Commanders do if Bailey, Reese, Bain, and Downs are off the board before they pick?
If both so this would be the funny thing, because I think trading down is going to absolutely suck in this draft, because and I have it on authority right now that Moore is going to come out, and like that's been in my envisioned head for right now. As Moore comes out, he's going to have a good playoff appearance. Guarantee yourself $40 million right off the bat. Don't go back to school for 9-10. You can get 40 right off the bat being a top 5 pick. Problem is, they're going to go by the time pick 5 comes around. So unless you're trading up for Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate, or one of the edge rushers, you're not trading up or trading down in this draft class. I'm sorry. I love me some good extra picks. I don't see it happening. With that being said, looking at the way the board is, Denzel Boston over Makai Lemon is a interesting BPA ranking. Because I think without I'm thinking Jordan Tyson. It depends on what you want, but I think if I'm here, Jordan Tyson is here. Ooh.
Yeah, he's just a little bit further down. So within the draft professor community, there's agreement that Lemon, Tate, and Tyson are 3 of the 4 best receivers.
Absolutely.
But some people have Boston in their top 4. Some people have Casey Concepcion in their top 4. So there's not necessarily consensus on who the exact top 4 are, but there's consensus, right? So there are people that would have Boston as wide receiver 1.
Okay.
For example.
All right. Yeah. I think because it's such a top heavy receiver class with Tate, Lemon, and Tyson, it's not hard to say who's your 1, who's your 1B, who's your 1C, because it depends on what you're looking for. Denzel Boston is kind of a blend of Tate and Tyson. You have size and speed with surefire hands, like 6'4", 225, and I think only 2 drops on the year for Washington. He would be a great piece. I think it's rich for Denzel Boston. It doesn't feel rich to me for Jordan Tyson here at 7. Give me Yes, a smaller wide receiver because this wide receiver base is a sub 6'1". Like I would be the tallest receiver, and I'm 6'1" and a quarter. But give me some speed alongside Terry, alongside Jalen Lane, alongside Luke McCaffrey. Get Jaden some help. Ironically, from the school he started out at, the Arizona State.
Okay, so we go through, and it gives you a graphic so it can show you who your 5 best first-round picks are.
Yeah.
The A-plus grades are when we picked the top player. So when we picked Reese and Bain, they were the number one or BPA, right? So the more Downs and Tyson get picked, the more likely they are to move up. And here's what I mean by that. So if you go to the team needs section of the website, and it takes a minute for this to build, it's doing a little bit of calculations.
Yeah.
There is a way for users to see the player board. So what we're going to go in and do, every team on the Draft Professor Simulator has their own board. So we're going to look at the Commanders board right here. Okay, and we're going to go to the player list over here to the far right. So if we look at the Commanders player board, I want to remind everybody that when Jordan Tyson was picked, he was 13th. He's now 10th. When we picked Caleb Downs, he was 7th. He's now 5th. Okay, when we picked David Bailey, he was 27th.
He's 20th now.
20th. He's now 20th.
Interesting.
Okay, so ultimately, when you pick players on this simulator, they move up. And then the players that get skipped above them move down a little, kind of thing. So everybody moves down a little. So you probably have to pick David Bailey about another 10 times. And it's not an exact science. I can't, each team, it'll be different depending on how many people pick Jordan Tyson or how many people pick Delane, because we never actually picked him. So if somebody picks Delane, Delane's going to move back up. So even though you moved him down, somebody else moved him back up. It becomes a law of averages.
No, it makes total sense. I like that.
Yeah, the players most frequently picked are the ones that go to the top.
I like that.
That's just the way that it is. So, okay. So that was a simple Commanders 1-round mock. My favorite part of the Draft Professor Simulator is this thing called Fanatic Mode. So Fanatic Mode is not for everyone. This is going to make mock drafting harder. So we're going to bump Fanatic Mode up to 8. This means we're going to do 8 Commanders mock drafts. You're going to get to do 8 of them. You will not be able to select any player in more than one mock. So as soon as you take them in the first mock, those players will not be available in mocks 2 through 8.
Okay.
So it's going to get harder by the time we get to the 8th one. You might see some things you like in round 3, but you may not like what you see in round 1.
Okay, I like that.
Right? Okay, like that. So we're going to turn on Fanatic Mode, and Commanders, we're gonna start with doing, well, let's go 5 rounds. And we're going to go Commanders because the Commanders, if memory serves me correctly, I know they don't have a 2nd-round pick. I also don't think they have a 4th-round pick.
No, we have a 1st, a 3rd, a 5th, 2 6th, and a 7th.
Yep. So we're basically, this is going to give you a chance to select 3 players each mock.
Right.
Okay. So I have 5 rounds. Fanatic Mode's on. We're going to do 8 unique Commanders mocks. The Commanders are selected. We're starting. So that was me talking through, making sure I clicked all my buttons.
Yeah.
Okay. So generally speaking, the round 1 on the simulator tends to be repeatable, meaning that the round 1 we see here was the same round 1 that we saw for the first mock that we did a minute ago. Now, if somebody were to come in and start doing mock drafts for any of the first 6 teams, that could change in the middle of us doing it, right? But if it goes this way, is David Bailey your pick?
I think sitting here, David Bailey has been my first pick in almost every mock draft I do. regardless of positional value, regardless of people say he's the size, not the size. It's David Bailey for me at 7.
Okay. So in this time, Bailey was 20th. So I'm going to take my notes, drop them into the chat. Okay. So now the simulator is going in, doing round 2, and it's going to bump us into the Commanders round 3 pick. What are you thinking the Commanders going to do in round 3?
What I generally do is here, but I think he already gone. As normally I would go safety with like Emmanuel McNeil Warren, but he's long gone. Michael Taft here is an interesting pick. Greg Hubbard is a pick. I know you guys are a little bit higher on Jalen Husky, the kid out of Maryland, who I am also high on. I saw Skylar Bell for my wide receiver folk. Yeah, there's Husky. Skylar Bell for me, like I've fallen in love with the wide receiver out of UConn. Like a smaller school, good size, good speed, great hands. I mean, the fact that because I mean technically UConn is a D1 school, but it's like outside the looking in the D1 schools. The fact that he was in the Biletnikoff top 3 race with Lemon and was it Jeremiah Smith was the third? Like that tells me all I need to know pretty much. With most of my guys gone here, I would go Skylar Bell, wide receiver. Go give Terry a compliment. Give Jaden another receiver to play with.
Okay, so you go David Bailey, Skylar Bell.
Yep.
Are there positions you're going to target in round 5?
Round 5, generally, if the board falls, depending on what normally is D tackle, it could be another edge. Bray Hubbard just fell, so I might go safety here. Okay, Rashawn Benny, Corlier, Bryce Lance. If I didn't take Skylar Bell, would have been this pick because at 6'4" with surefire hands, again, would have been a great piece to have. Looking the board itself, Preston Hodge, no. Treydon Stukes, I'm a sucker for. Pause. Like on most other mock drafts, I can get him in day 3, and I'm running to the board. I like Fitzgerald.
Well, we're in the middle of round 5 right here. I mean,
that's true.
Yep,
that's true. Bishop Fitzgerald, I like. It's just a little undersized for this safety room because all we have are sub 6 foot secondary pieces. Genesis Smith, yeah, another good name. That's a name that I've noticed some boards are higher or lower on depending on what you like in a safety. He's a weird case.
Yeah, and I mean he also because he's on the same team as Stukes. No, it's not Stukes. He's on the same team as one of the. Is it Stukes?
Yeah, they're both Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, so he's keeping Genesis Smith is playing safety, and Stukes is staying in the slot, but. Like Ian Cummings said, Stukes could be a good safety in and of himself, other than the fact he plays on the same team as Genesis Smith.
Right. Which, like, is almost unfair because Stukes has 4 interceptions on the year, no touchdowns, a passer rating of like 35, 36. I'm like, can I get this guy like him and Trey Amos to me, and you put Mike Sandersell on the outside, I would be set. Give me like a good DB coach because I don't need whoever we have right now in Commanders land. A good DB coach, and this secondary will be so much better. If he is as high on this board as I am, let me look at the edge department again, just real quick. I want to see where you're. Okay, Kamara's still there. Dan Dennis. I know people who are high on Dennis Sign. I'm not. Okay. That's just me. TJ Guy.
I think so. My personal opinion: Danny Dennis Sutton has the prototypical size that most NFL teams want in an edge room. So while he may not go on day 2, when you're taking swings on day 3, grab the guys that are prototypical height, weight, speed, size.
Right. Kind of thing. No, that is true. That's definitely true. And I know some people who went to Penn State and they're like, man, this guy is good. I'm like, I want to believe you. I so badly want to believe you.
Well, we all want him to be good. We all do, right?
Yeah. Because I think if he came out last year, he would have been a much higher draft pick than him coming back.
Agreed. Because once you hit like age 22 or 23, my opinion is the NFL believes you are who you're going to become. But when you're 21, they'll bet on you can get better.
Yeah, they can mold you a little bit more right before your frontal cortex fully develops, which is hilarious, and they're not wrong at all. So there's a science behind it. Based on value, in all honesty, I'll probably go corner, and I'll take my guy Stukes. I haven't done much work on Preston Hodge or Jermaine Matthews, so I'll take Stukes here. It's 148.
Okay. So we went through and we finished. That should finish the first mock.
Yep.
And it's going to spin us immediately into another mock, and it won't let us take Bailey. So if you look at the edge board, Bailey's not there. So it's just not going to let you pick him. It's going to say, I'm not going to let you do
it. Works
so
for me.
If Bailey's not there, and it goes Mendoza, Moore, Styles, Bain, Fano, Tate, what would you do?
Bailey's not there. I'll probably start in the secondary. I'll go Caleb Downs here and get him out of the way. Okay. And then that way I don't have to worry about getting and hoping for a safety later on. This way I get pretty much the 1A in this draft. But I think Emmanuel McNeil Warren, if it wasn't for Caleb Downs, would be the 1A safety.
Okay. So we have Caleb Downs going in round 1. When we get to the Commanders pick in round 3, if you look a few picks before, Skylar Bell is off.
Skylar Bell. Well done, Seattle. Well done. JSN, Skylar Bell, Torrey Horton. I am jealous. Because that would be actually quite a wide receiver trio. I'm not even going to lie. That would be phenomenal.
Okay, so what would the Commanders do? You do Caleb Downs in round 1. What are you thinking in round 3?
I'm thinking get to the quarterback. So I'm curious what the edge room looks like. Because, Overton. I'm not high on Overton. People hate me, but that's okay. Malachi Lawrence ain't bad. Deshaun Barn, Mattia Ule, Ungale, Joshua Josephs. That's what I want. That's what I need. Akeem Mesidor, please.
Love it. And Mesidor was like 244.
Yeah. The value on at least to this board isn't there, but I think the talent overall,
if you can get by the injuries and the fact he's going to be a 25-year-old rookie, that's right. To me, that's the biggest issue with Mesidor.
Right.
When we first did podcasts on Mesidor, the guys came back with first-round grades, and then they went and they said, okay, now we have to go look at the injury history and the age, and we're going to push him down the board a little bit. So it's first-round film. And
it's definitely.
Okay, so we did Downs and Mesidor, and you've got Bryce Lance and Brennan Thompson staring at you in round 5.
If I'm here in round 5 and they're both here, I'll go Bryce Lance. I'll get the size and the hands. I don't necessarily need speed from him because we have Lane, we have Luke, we have Terry. If you give me a 6'4" guy with only 1 drop on the year, but John, it's North Dakota State. Doesn't matter. Give me the guy. give me Trey's brother.
Okay, so now it's going to immediately put us into the third mock. It makes sure that Caleb Downs is off the board and you can't pick Bailey. Okay.
All right,
so
let's see.
And it's because, and the reason why you don't see Bailey show up, we flipped it to 8, so we're going to do 8 unique mocks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Commanders are picking 7th. So one of the players just had to be removed, right? Every other team, what you would have seen is 8 picks before the Commanders, you would see Bailey go. We can't go 8 picks before the Commanders, so that's why that's not there. But you can now see Downs. He's off the board, right? What do you do?
I'm going to throw kind of a wrench in this. I'm going to go backwards from what I just did. I'll take Carnell Tate here. I'll just keep feeding Ohio State wide receivers to Washington.
There we go. So Carnell Tate goes 7th overall to the Commanders. What are you thinking about in round 3?
Round 3, I've gone, corner. I've gone edge. I'll probably stick in that realm of defense. I might see what defensive tackles look like.
Okay.
Because I'm watching the board fall, and I'm gonna bet you 10-1 Lee Hunter goes. But if not, that's who I'm looking at is Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech. I didn't see his name unless he went super early.
Yep, he should be here. Yep, he's
There
right
he is.
there.
Yeah, I'll take Lee Hunter, please. I think that whole Texas Tech D line has had such a great year. And it sucks that Skylar Gill-Howard got injured halfway through the season because I think if he finishes the year, he's a day 2 guy guaranteed.
Okay, so you go Carnell Tate, Lee Hunter. Yep. What position are you thinking for round 5?
Oh, let's see. Round 5, I've gone corner, I've gone receiver, so I've gotten those big ones out of the way. Now I can kind of start. Ooh, Derek Moore went. A good piece. Seeing how this board falls. So, Katron Allen is still there. That's fun. Let's see. Nussmeier, that's funny. Jaeger Burton, I got to do some work on.
Really good pass blocker. He has a floor as a pass blocker.
Okay. That's not bad. Because we always need depth on the O-line. What does interior O-line look like? Because I might grab a center here.
Bo Stevens, Jaeger Burton. Coogan's available.
Coogan.
Bryce Foster, Trey Zune's available.
Trey Zunes. Yeah. Because I'm guessing Slaughter.
Sam Hex.
Hex, yeah. I'm guessing Slaughter and Lou's already gone.
What's your grade on Matt Galvin from Michigan State?
I gotta do some more work on some of these guys. Because Gubin isn't even a name I've heard a lot of, so I gotta do some more work.
So he came back. A couple people are day 3, and at least one is day 2.
Okay,
and we're in round 5 right now. So
right. Because based on the way the board fell, I'm guessing Aaron Jones already fell, the center from Iowa. Because I think he's
Logan
my
Jones.
Or Logan Jones, excuse me. Pardon me. Let's see.
Yes. So Logan Jones is probably went like round 3 or 2. So like Connor Lew. So the Broncos need a center.
There he is.
The 49ers need a center.
And Slaughter, I think, fell right after them.
Yep. And then I'm looking for Jackson. So Jacksonville didn't take a center here. I'm guessing it's because Brian Parker went off the board before that because the Lions need a center too.
Yeah. Brian Parker is an interesting case because he pretty much can and will play 3 different positions, tackle, guard, and center, depending on the team. And I think because of his versatility, that's going to make it trickier for teams to give him a day grade on because I think the talent, he's an easy mid to late 2. I don't know if he'll go any higher than probably. I think the highest he'll go is mid 2nd. I think the lowest he'll go is probably in the 4th.
Yeah, I think there's a number of teams that need centers this year too.
Yes.
The Lions, in my opinion, were a center away from a playoff berth. Their offensive line this year didn't perform up, and it was, Ragnow retired. So I think the Lions will take a center. They could take a center in round 1, just because that might be the weakest position on their roster.
Is that or corner?
Right. And then, like Ian Cummings was pointing out, that Detroit has drafted corners really high. They went corner in round 1 and 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So do you continually invest first-round capital in a position that you have round 1 and round 2 capital already invested? So
I think they should.
I think they should debate. Yeah.
I think they should invest in a new strength and conditioning coach for all the injuries they seemingly mass up in the secondary.
Yep.
Goodness. So because they took Terrion Arnold and then Ennis Rakestraw Jr. back to back, and I was like, all right, they're loading up for a Super Bowl run in Aben.
Yep. Well, and you take Buffalo's GM, so I'm a Bills fan. So the Bills GM has historically double dipped a lot. Last year we took 3 defensive linemen and 3 DBs. If he wants to fix the room, he's drafting the position a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this year you're probably going wide receiver.
Yep. So Commanders in round 5.
Let's see.
You want Matt Colvin, or do you want to go to a different position group?
I'll go with a different position group. I think center-wise, without the 3 or 4 guys, it feels a little rich at 5. I mean, yes, it's day 3, it's a 5th round. I'm mentally saying that it feels a little rich. I like Kaytron Allen actually here at 5th overall. Get kind of a second fast running back to pair with Bill, because I do think Bill's got the cut ability and got the speed. I think we just need some power, which is where like a Chris Rodriguez comes in. But I think if we can get younger on the team, I will be happier. Carnell Tate.
Okay.
And that gives Jane.
Yep. So we've done 3 mocks. It puts us into the 4th. Caleb Downs and Carnell Tate, who were your last 2 first-round picks, they're off the board for you here. Styles, Bain, Fano, Mendoza are all off the board as well.
I think based on what this team needs, he can do it both different ways, and he provides a definite youth piece to a team that has significant retirement home benefits. I'll go Arvell Reese here at 7. Get him all I can.
Okay, so we do Arvell Reese. Do we want to check out centers in round 3?
Might as well. If I'm gonna do something a little bit different, let me see what I can get at 73. All right. Here's a question for you then. Do you consider Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback, a first-round talent? Because I do not.
I think late first, yes. Basically, he has the tools to become an NFL starter. So if Pittsburgh were to take him at the back part of round 1, I don't think anybody could fault Pittsburgh for taking the swing.
Sure.
Right? Especially if Rodgers comes back for another year.
Right. And that's really the kicker.
The biggest issue is you don't want Simpson to play year 1. So that means he's probably not going in the top half of the first.
No, definitely not.
Okay. So Nick Singleton dropped around 3.
He did.
Connor Liu dropped around 3. Jake Slaughter dropped around 3.
Yes, they did. I'm a little bit higher. It's not because I'm a Florida Gators fan. But I think overall I like Slaughter over Liu as my center 1, because I think Brian Parker is probably gonna be more guard than anything. So I'll take Slaughter.
Okay. I think he was 70-ish. I forgot to look at the number, but
yeah, he was around that 70-ish number. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So this mock is Arvell Reese, Jake Slaughter. Or are you thinking wide receiver, corner, or defensive line for round 5?
I'm probably thinking D-line. Obviously, I've already taken Keem Mesidor, and there goes Derek Moore, who I would have taken, but those bastards took him from me. Let's see. Caden Curry, I like. He came late on my draft boards, and I've quickly fell for him. Eric O'Neal is an interesting pick. Oh, did Clev Lubin already go, or is he even on your
Lubin's
board?
off. He returned to school.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Gosh, God bless him. Honestly, though, good for him. Like, make some more money going back.
Yep.
You know what? While we're here, it's a round 5 pick. Give me Caden Curry.
Okay, so he is 278th on the board at the time that we picked. He won't be 278 when we're done. Okay, so that was Arvell Reese, Jake Slaughter, Caden Curry. Get 2 Ohio State Buckeyes and become the Washington Buckeyes.
I mean, we've already got Terry on the team. We had Curtis Samuel for a time. You know, we had Marshawn, and he'll be gone. Like, I mean, might as well.
Okay. So we're immediately into the 5th mock. Downs, Tate, Reese are all off the board before your pick. Yep. What do the Commanders do?
Alrighty, let's see. This is where the fun begins because if like all my big names are off, I don't. Like unironically, they're already off the board. I would listen to a trade, but I don't necessarily think we will trade back.
And there's no trades in Fanatic mode.
No, what I think is actually a good thing.
Yeah, you got to stick to your board.
Yep, which is the fun part because I could trade back all day long and accumulate a king's ransom. Let's have fun because Commanders Country loves this kid and he's right there at the bottom of that board. Let's go Jeremiah Love. Okay. Let's just get the bruiser in now.
You see, and this is the joy of Fanatic mode. How often do we talk about Jeremiah Love going 7th overall to the Commanders?
Yeah.
It's possible. That's a legitimate. Help your young quarterback out. Get him a playmaker.
And I think the most likely scenario, if he's going in the top 10, is actually New Orleans. Like they'll move on from Kamara. Devin Neal will come back, and Kendre Miller can't stay healthy.
Okay, so the edge board. Do you have a day 2 grade on Malachi Lawrence?
Lawrence is an interesting name because I haven't done extensive research like I should have done. He's not bad, and if we took him, I would not be mad at all. I know a lot of people are higher on Gabe Yukas or Yukas, however you want to say it. I think it's Yukas.
Yep.
Yes, thank you. I knew I was saying it wrong, but which better wrong version am I saying? Guess. People really enjoy him, and I'm not. I would not be mad at it. I have my guys for obvious reasons, which probably just makes me, a bad mock drafter, but that's okay. So I took running back. What is D tackle? I'm just curious.
McClellan, Jackson are both there. James Smith, I'm assuming, is going back to school, but I haven't removed him from the simulator yet.
Probably.
To me, it feels early for Keenan.
And
Xavier Harris is available.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Zane Durant
Gil Howard. Gil Howard should be healthy enough come combine time because he got injured.
Do you like him in round 3?
Oh, we are in round 3. I think if fully healthy, he would be a round 3 pick because he is a disruptor off the bat. A little undersized, but I mean, it's D tackle. We've seen D tackles be undersized and go to the Hall of Fame. Look at Aaron Donald in 2 years. Round 3, it feels a slightly rich because Mesidor's obviously gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Yep. So it makes sure the simulator makes sure that Skylar Bell, Akeem Mesidor, Lee Hunter, Jake Slaughter, who are the players that you like in round 3 are off the board. So it wants you to find who else do you like.
Yeah. What does corner look like here? I've got some new. Okay.
Will Lee is available. Masses is available. Keontae Scott is here. Everett's here. Jermaine Matthews is. Devin Moore is.
Devin Moore, one of my Florida boys.
Chandler Rivers is available. Thaddeus Dixon is available.
Igbenison, Malik Muhammad. I keep forgetting Malik Muhammad is a corner because he feels such like a safety.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people project him to slot. We were pretty high on him over the summer at Draft Professors. I think that cooled off a little bit.
It definitely cooled off because Texas itself cooled off. So that didn't help things at all. Smith Snowden.
I'm looking like round 3. I don't think Kelly Jones declares.
No. Just because this is gonna be a recency bias. He had a good first round playoff. It's Keontae Scott. He had a really good game with that pick 6, but I think overall he's had just a good year and probably one of the more under talked about corners coming into the year.
And between you, me, and the Fence Post, there's a lot of people that podcast with Draft Professors that have a top 50 on Keontae Scott. So the fact that he's there in round 3 right now, I would say don't get used to it. So the more players get picked on this simulator, the more they move up.
Yep.
So as people, as the Keontae Scott fan club grows with Miami playing another round in the college football playoff, I am sure Keontae Scott will begin to get a lot more top 50 buzz.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And rightfully so.
Yep. So this is Jeremiah Love, Keontae Scott, rounds 1 and 2, or rounds 1 and 3.
Now we're in the 5th. I'll go back to Edge. Sutton, Kamara, Kenyatta. People are high on Kenyatta out of Ohio State. I'm not as high on him.
And I think he goes back to school. So he's in the simulator right now because we don't have the official declaration, but tomorrow he's probably not going to be in the simulator.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Because like sometimes I'll get guys, I'm just like, I want to believe the hype. I want to believe it. I just can't in my soul so get behind it. Maybe because he was probably going to go back, or maybe because Ohio State's edge rushers are underutilized this year for their team. I don't know why.
Have you watched TJ Guy yet?
I've watched a couple things of DJ Guy. He is good. I think he is someone where if you got him in a 5, 6, or 7 and let him season up a little bit, it's not going to need a lot.
And this is round 5.
And this is round 5.
That's the reason I point that out, is that for a round 5 edge, you're getting a lot of tools in TJ Guy.
You are. I think not even just based off BPA, but I think just based on like the defensive prospects, he will fall probably past round 5.
Okay.
Like if Derek Moore lasted here to 145, I would be running to the board for Derek Moore. I like him out of Michigan. I don't like the head coach of Michigan, but I like Derek Moore, the player. But unfortunately, he went to Tennessee, and I think that's a good grab for them. You know what? Let's have some fun. Let's go back to the first page of the edge rusher room. I'll take Michael Kamara out of Indiana.
Okay, love it. So Kamara is 137.
I think he had a really good year last year, and if he came out, he would be a name we talked about because I mocked him a lot, and he went back, and they've had a little bit of a slower year.
Okay, so now we just finished our 5th mock in Fanatic mode. We have 3 more to go. Okay, so what the simulator is going to do is all of the guys that you've already taken in round 1 will be off the board. So Downs is off the board. Tate, Reese, Love are off the board. Ruben Bain did drop.
That he did. I don't know if I've taken Bain. No, I don't think I have, actually.
You took him for a first-round challenge, but you didn't take him here during Fanatic mode yet.
That's true. Let's do Fanatic mode Ruben Bain while he's here.
Right.
While in Rome.
Well, you have the opportunity to take somebody. You can take advantage of it. So that was Ruben Bain in round 1. Yep. And then the simulator will make sure that the players that you've already picked will be drafted right before your pick. So it's sniping you.
Oh, it is.
So I've designed the snipe into the simulator. So if you turn on Fanatic mode, it's going to snipe the players that you like. So after you've drafted them, it's going to snipe you. And if you're not familiar with the term snipe, the players that John has picked were Skylar Bell, Akeem Mesidor, Lee Hunter, Jake Slaughter, Keontae Scott, all great 3rd-round picks. I love all 3 of those guys in round 3, but they're off the board for you. What do you do?
Let's go to Edge. He might have fallen for me. Lawrence. Did he not fall?
I'm looking
for Derek Moore. Look for Derek Moore. Yes. Bring him to me. I'm higher on him than others, and that's okay. I just think like the tools are there, the production is there, and he won't immediately start because we're getting a few guys back from injury reserve to where if you let him sit and season for a couple of games, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. So you went Bain and Moore edges back to back.
I doubled up. That's A-okay.
Yep. And I love Derek Moore in round 3. I think that is where, we've got 30 people podcasting a draft professor. I would say that that's where 2/3 of them have more graded. He's a round 3 edge.
Yeah.
Day 2, round 3.
Yeah, I think you could even get him if you're probably between 55 to 63, that late second round. And if you got him there, I'm going, that doesn't feel like a reach. That feels pristine to me.
Okay. So you go Bain and Moore back-to-back edges. What are you going to do in round 5?
Let's see what tight ends look like. Because I am a Ben Sinnott believer. I'm in the Ben Sinnott, draft hype fandom club. For whatever reason, Cliff Kingsbury is not. For whatever reason, and I don't know why. Eli Stowers still being there is crazy work to me. Marlon
Klein from Michigan. I feel like I was surprised he declared.
Yeah.
But now that he has declared, he's going to be taken higher than round 5. The tools are all there, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think
he's from Germany. Yeah. He's from Germany, so he hasn't played football very long. Same with John Michael Gillenberg from Wyoming.
Yeah, and that's one guy. Oh, okay. So he is there. I am high on Tanner Kazoil out of Houston. I have mocked him more times than I should have to my Commanders. I think he's just like a 6'7" pass catcher, and we already have 2 blocking tight ends in Bates and Sinnott at this rate. 5th round BPA 155, so I'm kind of there.
Don't worry about the BPAs. These boards move. Don't use.
That's true.
Right. I'm pointing out where they are on the board so I can show how far they moved up when we're done with
That's
true.
As much as I like Kazoil here, if Stowers is still here at 145, I will take Eli Stowers from Vandy.
Okay.
Because I don't think he falls this far at all.
Really? So there's a lot of us here that are I think he's a good college player, but there's not a lot of NFL traits.
Fair. That's fair. I think Stowers is probably like a bigger, how do I want to, like, for me, Sinnott was the perfect combination of Kittle and Juszczyk from San Fran, which is why Peters was high on him, and I was curious why Cliff Kingsbury couldn't find a way to get him on the field. I think Stowers is just like a better version of that. If he can get some pass blocking stats in there, teams will use him.
Okay. So we're in the 7th of the 8 mocks. Yep. Downs, Tate, Reese, Love, Bain are all off the board before the Commanders pick. What do you do?
All righty. Well, I need secondary. I need help with Amos coming off injury and Mikey going back to the outside. Give me a guy who is great at Virginia Tech, has become all-world at LSU. Give me Mansour Delane.
Okay. Love it. So, again, Mansour Delane going 7th overall.
Yep.
And
it doesn't feel rich to me because I think he could go to the Rams right there at like 12 and be just fine.
Do you have Chris Johnson graded high enough to draft him in the top 10?
Oh, I love me some Chris Johnson. I love me an Aztec Chris Johnson. That answer in the top 10 is no. I have him higher. I have him like a late day 1, early to mid day 2. Because he is truly a like heavy zone corner, but is still good in man coverage too. Like, I don't think people realize Aztecs ran a lot of zone, but the few times they did run man, it didn't look like he had much problem.
Okay. If Chris Bell were to drop to round 3, do you think the Commanders would pick it?
Probably. Like I enjoyed watching some Chris Bell, and I think the injury timing absolutely sucked because he was projected like late day 1.
Yeah.
Like New England, Denver, Seattle territory, and that would have been phenomenal for him.
Yep. So my advice to anybody trying fanatic mode, we're in iteration 7s. We're doing the 7th of the 8 mocks. Start looking for players to drop. So I would check each position groups, like wide receiver. Chris Bell is there. Malachi Fields is there. Antonio Williams is there. Right. So I mean, there's some good value on the board. Yeah. And then if we look at, for example, tight end, Claire is here in round 3. Daquan Wright is also here in round 3.
That's true.
Right. So there's a couple of, and like running back Singleton, Coleman, Price are all there in round 3.
Fletcher.
Corner, Will Lee. This feels about right for Will Lee. And then Tacario Davis is there this time in round 3.
Yeah.
Right. So there's decisions to be made.
There are decisions. I think the decision was made for me when we talked about it. I'll take Chris Bell here. Why not? Keep Jalen Lane on special teams, but give him some snaps. Give Chris Bell significant reps next to Terry. I don't that would be fun. Yep. He'll fall because of the injuries. I just hope he doesn't fall from like mid-day 1 to day 3.
I don't see Bell making it out of day 2. Like the playoff teams would love Chris Bell in round 3. So like if you're a Buffalo Bill or you're a Pittsburgh Steeler or you're a just insert playoff team here, you don't usually get to draft a player as good as Chris Bell. No. So even if you have to wait a year, you'd rather have the good player that you have to wait a year for.
Yeah. How would you feel if your Bills took Bell at 24 and said he won't be ready until October?
Don't like it. No,
I figured.
I mean, Maxwell Hairston missed most of this year with an injury, and he was our round 1 pick. Yeah. So it's not unheard of. I think we can do better than Bell in round 1. But if we traded back to round 2 and we made Chris Bell the next Keon Coleman, where we picked him at the top of round 2 and we picked up draft capital, that I'm all for. But I wouldn't take him in round 1 simply because I think we can get him if we trade back a little bit. I don't mind him being a Bill. I just don't want him a Buffalo Bill in round 1.
That's fair.
If that's
fair. And I think you move on from Keon Coleman, whether you trade him for a 5th or you cut him.
But I don't – Buffalo's not going to – we didn't give up on Cody Ford. We're definitely not giving up on Keon Coleman.
That's true.
Right? Like – at minimum, you'll keep Coleman 1 more year and then see what happens in year 4.
Yeah.
But you're not going to cut him and lose draft capital. You're going to keep him on the roster and wait for somebody to give you a trade offer. That's not necessarily what I would do, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Probably what's going to happen. Because I think he's a great kid overall. For whatever reason, something didn't click this season between him and coaching.
Okay, so we're at round 5 here for the Commanders. Delane and Bell were the rounds 1 and 2 picks.
Yeah.
Taurine York has dropped around 5. Aiden Fisher has dropped around 5. Red Murdoch has.
Romaine is going back. He has another year. Which is going to be the fun part. I think
Biles went back too. I got to update.
Yeah, Biles is definitely going back. No, was it Biles or was it Lewis?
Okay,
I think it was
Lewis declared. Lewis declared.
That's right. Thank you. I could. They're both such good prospects that I got them mixed up for a second.
Yep. So this one, Jayshon Barham fell to round 5.
Yeah. I don't know why I like him. I just don't know if I like him over someone else. Well,
but do you like him in round 5, right? Because normally he typically goes day 2.
That's true.
This is round 5.
Yeah. I keep getting thrown off sometimes when I'm like, oh, we're in the 3rd round. No, we've already gone to the 3rd round because we have no 2 and 4. Yep. I've done so many mock drafts. I should have, my mental cue should just do that now. You know what? He's here. You're right. I'm not mad at it at all. Oh, McAllister's here, though. Ooh, I like me some Eric McAllister at TCU. Ooh,
Even after you did Chris Bell in round 2.
that's true. They're two different receivers. Chris Bell is speed and tall. McAllister is, I think, running and tall. Now I'll go the edge rusher out of Michigan, just so I don't. I'd rather double dip at edge than double dip at receiver. I think if I went back to back.
So, and here's what the simulator is going to essentially do, right? So there's 10 players ranked ahead of Barham, right? So you see Barham right here. So what the simulator is going to do is it's going to move Barham up, and it's going to take the 10 guys above him and move them down a little. Now, the a lot versus a little is simply going to depend on how many mock drafts get done. Where Barham gets picked to the Commanders is, does he move up higher?
Yeah.
But eventually Barham would move to the top of that round 5 board that we're basically saying there's no way Barham gets by the Commanders in round 5. Right. If he's picked enough in this
He's picked enough. Yeah. Yeah, it makes total sense to me.
That was Delane Bell Barham. We are now in the last mock. So now we are doing the 8th and final mock. Downs, Tate, Reese, Love, Bain, Delane, all the players that you've picked are off the board. What do the Commanders do?
Yeah, we got some fun to look at. We got Sonny Styles still here. We got Mekhi Lemon still here. Tyson, like almost all the receivers are still here. I wouldn't go O-line. I wouldn't go tight end. I'm not like Peter Woods is good, but I don't need D tackle at 7. Feels rich for Chris Johnson, in my opinion. I like Gerard McCoy, but I don't think he's played at all this year.
Correct.
No, I'm thinking of Colton Hood. Yeah, he didn't play at all this year. But I mean, if Gerard McCoy is 80% of what he was last year, there is hype for him. Because he was so good for Tennessee last season. You know what? It's the 8th mock draft. That's my dog barking. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's go really rich. Let's go positional rich. Let's go Sonny Styles.
Okay.
Let's have fun with the 8th mock draft.
Well, and that's the idea behind doing fanatic mode. You're gonna be putting yourself in a situation where nobody's doing the Sonny Styles to Commanders mock, but all those other guys are off the board. They got sniped. You have to have a plan.
And I think like Sonny Styles, Jordan McGee, still have Madrano, and you'll probably keep Cahill around. That's a nice young group that you can mold into whatever defensive you want. Because I was high on McGee coming out. Like I was in that McGee fan club.
Okay, so this is the first time we saw Drew Shelton dropped around 3. And I know that you said you didn't need offensive line help with Washington. But just to give you an idea is each of these that you do, you should, like, we didn't see Dominique Orange in round 3 the first several times we did it, but he's here now.
He is.
Right? So sometimes players are going to drop. And if you look through the player boards, for example, at wide receiver, you can see that Malachi Fields, Antonio Williams, and Eric McAllister are all available.
Yeah.
At pick 71.
That is true. That is true.
And then at tight end, Max Clare is available. And he wasn't there before.
No.
Joe Royer is available at pick 71.
Yep. I feel like Justin Jolly got hurt halfway through the season? Am I wrong? Am I thinking of a different tight end? I feel like he got hurt at some point this year.
I think you are accurate. I don't know that that's going to affect his draft stock that much. I don't think the injury was significant.
That is true. Because I remember his stats dropping. I'm like, did he get hurt or did he get benched? I feel like he got hurt. Let's see. Devin Moore isn't bad here because, I mean, Florida boy bias, but he's actually been one of our better defenders on defense for such a bad year.
Davis also available at 71.
That is true. Let's have fun. Let's go Devin Moore. I like more, not just because of bias. I think just skill wise, a little bit more than I like Willie the third.
Okay, so this mock is Sonny Styles, Devin Moore.
More.
What are you thinking in round 5?
Gotta go offense. I gotta get a piece, whether that's running back, whether that's receiver. I gotta get some weapons because we are thin. Like people want Brandon Ayuk in Washington, hard pass. I don't need that happening.
No, stop recycling everybody's broken wide receivers. You got to get some of your own.
Exactly.
Right?
Granted, I think Debo did better than we were expecting from him this year. Granted, we paid him a lot, but I think there was a lot worse he could have done.
So McAllister is there in round 5.
That he is. Yeah, take him there. If he's here, I'm taking him.
Okay. And
I will take Aaron McAllister, which is good value for me.
Yep. Okay, so that was Sonny Styles, Devin Moore, Eric McAllister. We just finished 8 5-round mocks for the Commanders. And what this did is it's beginning to set up a Commanders player board. Right. I would encourage any Commanders fan watching this, go do your own. And it's okay if your opinions are different. I will show you the consequences of everything here in a moment. So you can see like David Bailey, Skylar Bell, Treydon Stukes was the first one. Okay. And then you can just scroll down and you'll see all of the different ones that we did. Yeah. So if we go to that Commanders player board, do you have about 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't tell you how long this would be. But you did a really good job of talking for an hour through. You did about 13 Titans. You did about 13 Commanders mocks.
I generally do, yeah.
Okay. So if we go to the Commanders player list, let's start looking at the players that we took. So when we took the Eric McAllister,
he was 106.
Oh, I have to learn how to spell McAllister.
No, I think you're. Yeah, there we go. McAllister. I did the same thing. I put 2 C's.
Got it. Okay, so that one, ironically, he dropped to 240. Usually they move up. Okay, so let's go. So Devin Moore was 98 when we picked him.
Yep.
And
he's now 73. He is
now 73. Stowers was 216 when we picked him.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. I got to go check something because they shouldn't have.
That says Browns. You might.
Oh, ha 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 ha.
That might fix it.
Thank you. Did I jump to the wrong team?
I think the screen jumped a second as you clicked it. Try this again.
Okay.
McAllister.
Okay. Yeah.
MCA.
So let's look at McAllister. He moved to 90. So he went from 106 to 90.
There we go. That feels better.
Yep. Devin Moore went to 49.
Ooh. And Derek Moore went to 56.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and Derek Moore went to 56. So you see those players are significantly higher on the Commanders board now.
Yeah.
Okay. Stowers.
216 and 91.
And again, we were in the Cleveland board a second ago. Thank you for that observation. So Cleveland is probably not taking a tight end, right? Because they took Harold Fannin last season, right?
And they still got Njoku for I think another year,
right? So when Browns fans are doing mocks, they're not picking the tight ends, therefore the tight ends drop. That's the kind of mindset to think about here,
yep.
Right? So Kamara was 137 when you picked him. He's 92 now.
That's not bad.
Curry was 278. This should be a pretty big jump.
89.
Okay. So here's what that does, everybody. So I am a Buffalo Bills fan. I am going to do a really quick Buffalo Bills mock.
Heck yeah.
But we're going to pay attention to who the Commanders take. Right? So I'll just come down here and I will do – you'll probably notice me taking like the top player on the board.
Fair.
There's a few Bills fans that use this toy. And I like my toy. I like talking about it. John, I love that you came on the podcast so that you could kind of talk through your scenarios. I told you you'd be doing more talking than me. I don't know if you believe me now.
Oh no, I believed you. I definitely believed you. Because I mean, if I'm Brandon Beane at 24 and Denzel Boston's right there for you, I'm taking him too.
Yep. Okay. So we took Boston for Buffalo. The Commanders took.
Got to scroll all the way. We took Arvell Reese.
Okay. And Buffalo takes Josiah Trotter. The Commanders in round 3
took Singleton.
So Singleton was still high. So that we didn't pick enough players to go higher than Singleton. So that didn't surprise me that happened. Okay. And then Buffalo's going to go Wheatley in that situation, I think.
Yeah. I like Wheatley too. I think he's one of the more underrated safeties in this draft class, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in round 4 for Buffalo. I don't want to take – so there's a chance that I would take these, but I want to see if the Commanders take them, so I'm not going to do that here. No, not going to do that either. We're doing Matt Gulbin in round 4. Nice. Okay, so the Commanders, I didn't see. I saw the Commanders logo. I didn't see who the words were.
Bryce Lance, wide receiver.
Okay, and that was a player that you took, right?
Yep.
Right. So okay, and now what is Buffalo going to do? Give me another edge. So, like, for example, Caden Curry is still on the board. But, again, I'm not going to pick him. Same thing with Kamara because I want to see if the Commanders pick him up from what you did. I'll go TJ Guy. And you said – so you see how Caden Curry just went to the Commanders right there?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. He's there because of you.
And
right? It's literally that fast. Now, Curry went in round 6 to the Commanders. John picked him in round 5. The only thing that picking the player does is it moves him up the board. And then as the Commanders are selecting, it's saying who is the highest player on the Commanders board. And that's how the algorithm's working. So John was the one that said Curry fits what Washington does. So that's who the pick is right now. And then what do I need to do? Oh, corner would always be good. I like Mason there. And then the Commanders, you said, have 2 6th-round picks, right?
Yep. Yeah, we took Curry and McAllister.
See?
Double did the wide receiver.
That's all you. So even though you picked him in round 5, he ended up going in round 6 to the Commanders.
Which would be great value, by the way. Would be phenomenal value.
And now, as more people use the simulator, if people like McAllister more, they're going to pick him earlier, and it's going to require people to pick McAllister earlier.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So it's a different kind of algorithm. It's a different kind of mock draft. Have fun with it. Like I love having fans of other teams on, hearing what you think that your team should do. And that's kind of who we are here at Draft Professor. So I just finished up my Bills mock, but it's less important there. Do the Commanders have a 7th-round pick?
Yes, we took Justin Jefferson, Alabama linebacker. Ew. Double dipped at a linebacker, too.
Yeah, so the algorithm that I have, it will not repeat a position in the first 4 rounds. But in rounds 5, 6, and 7, it's taken BPA regardless of position.
Makes sense.
So if you took a running back in round 3 and the running back is the top player for round 5, right now it would double dip you at running back. Now, considering the Browns like drafted 3 running backs last year, I've questioned whether or not I should modify my logic, but I'm like, NFL teams double dip all the time, so I don't know.
I was about to say two running backs, 2 quarterbacks. Like, come on. And granted, the running backs worked. The quarterbacks did not. So and they kept Andrew Berry. So,
Yep. So, John, thoughts on the Fanatic Mode exercise?
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's much different than what you're gonna get from a PFF, from a PFSN mock draft simulator. Because I've used them all. I enjoyed PFF's like ability to trade back. I enjoyed PFSN's like ability to change the big boards from like different websites. So you can choose ESPN, Athletics, theirs, PFF's. Mock draft simulator. I could do a mock draft from 5 years ago if I wanted. And I think this gives you a different idea of like, oh, if I kept wanting to do only first round picks, I can choose how many I want to do. I can change up the ability to do so. And I can keep changing however I want to with the algorithm adapting with me versus me going, well, I already took him, so I'm gonna take him there. But I already took him there. Like the algorithm works with and against you. And I actually like that, having that ability to evolve. I like that. Because I think so. Because some places get repetitive. Like I can take David Bailey 100 times, and if he's still right there at 7, I'm like, he's right there. I have to.
Yep. And ironically, what motivated me to build my own is that the other ones weren't random enough.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm doing 10 mock drafts and the round 1 only changed by like 1 player each time, that's not random enough for me. No. It may be random enough for everybody else watching this podcast, but it is not random enough for me.
Yeah.
So I designed an algorithm that puts the user in control. The user doesn't get a lot of control over round 1. So, for example, for John to get David Bailey to go to the top of round 1, he's probably going to need to do about 20 more mock drafts. It might only take 10, but I'm estimating, right?
Yeah.
For Boston to get to the top of Buffalo's, that took a lot, right? And there's other techniques. So if you keep watching Draft Professor podcast, I'll show you some other buttons on the simulator. The Commanders don't have a second round pick, so the second round challenge feels a little redundant. But if I did a second round challenge and I picked David Bailey every time, there's a really good chance he's going to be like the second or the third player on the board.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? But then by the time you get to round 4 and 5, you have almost instantaneous control of who your team picks.
Right.
So you might pick the player in round 4, and then when I go in and do my mock draft, I might see him taken in round 5. But you're at least telling the simulator who your team should be picking.
Yeah.
And if more people agree with you, the player moves up.
Yeah.
So the more a player is picked, the more they move up. So, John, man, this is a lot of fun. We do a lot of group mocks here at Draft Professor. So we would love to have you on a podcast again another time.
Yeah, for sure.
You want to let everybody watching know kind of who you are, what your Commanders podcast is, and feel free to share any other information about yourself that you want.
Yeah, I'll do my normal little when I go on plays on my little intro. So if you're unaware, get familiar. I'm the co-host, co-founder, co-CEO, editor, and designer of the one, the only, the Ballin' in Burgundy podcast. Myself, Justin, Chris, Andrew, and Nick. We run a 5-man group. So generally, I am the face. Whether I go to other podcasts or podcasts come to me, I'm generally the face that they will see and talk to. But we do mock drafts. We do off-season simulators. We'll do free agencies during the off-season. We'll talk about trades, talk about training camp, talk about what's to come. We'll do previews and predictions during the season. We'll do reactions during the season. Every Wednesday night or Wednesday morning, we did this last week. Myself, Reed Easy, and one guy talking sports, a.k.a. the Bernie Breakdown, every Wednesday. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, you can find all of that all my social links up here above my head at Ball and Bernie Podcast, and then on Twitter at BIB Podcast 22, because Twitter hates the long usernames. And I refuse to pay $14.99 for a blue check mark. I refuse to do it. Will not pay to be verified. But in the next couple weeks or so, we are continuing our BIB Draft HQ series. So ironically, this fits right in. We're doing our own draft prospect, our own mock draft series going into the draft. I've got someone coming in later this week that I'll have out by Thursday. I got someone coming in on Monday that'll be out by next Tuesday. So inching closer to the draft. So whether it's mock drafts, free agencies, it's going to be a long, tumultuous season for Commanders country out here on the East Coast.
Well, again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
If this is the first Draft Professor podcast somebody has seen, you can learn about all the Draft Professor podcasts by following Draft Professor at NFL Draft Fanatic, no I in Fanatic. What you're going to get. We do 2 podcasts a day. We do 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern every night. And then as time permits, we're going to do things like this in the middle of the day. In addition to that, Draft Professor, every Friday night, we do 32 team mocks. So would love to have John come on, pick for the Commanders during one of those. So we do 3 rounds on Friday. The podcast lasts about 2.5 hours. And I'm bringing in whoever is following my account right here. Just look at the pinned tweet. And the pinned tweet has like, here's how the mock draft works. Here's how the sign up works. And stuff like that. So just reply to the pinned tweet. That's the easiest way to sign up. We're here Saturday mornings. We're here Sunday mornings right now. Sunday mornings will feature Jack Brentnall and Devin Jackson. Jack Brentnall leads the draft coverage for the largest UK-based draft podcast. Devin Jackson is a huge Eagles podcaster, and his draft coverage is second to none. Has worked with PFF and Trevor Sikkema at stops in prior lives. So Draft Professor has 110 people. You'll probably recognize about 10 of the names. Jacob Infante, Ian Cummings, and a few others, right? So we're here every night. We're talking draft. That's what we do. We'll do mock drafts, and everything for Draft Professor leads up to we run the largest internet mock draft 2 weeks before the draft. It's 7 rounds with trades, 32 people. Each of those people is running their own podcast. So we podcast on Draft Professor, but if you look up Epic Mock 25, you will see podcasters all over the world that were participating in our mock, but they were podcasting on their channel. So
nice.
We cover the draft like nobody else. We're here every day. John, thank you for coming on. For the 110 people at the Draft Professor, thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy your Monday, and we will see you on a podcast again at 7 p.m. tonight, which is a Patriots mock draft really similar to this.
Nice.
Thank you, everybody.